Hi, everybody. It's Ellen doing things a little bit different today because I'm unbagging actually from Temu. Now, I know everybody has thoughts and ideas and opinions about Temu, and I'm not here to discuss the politics of it. I know what it's like to be on a budget and to still need to crochet. Maybe you're a knitter, you need to knit for that just emotional well-being. And Temu, if those yarns are what they claim to be, seems to be a really good bargain. So it is also one of the sites with sort of the worst information about yarn that is out there. I think it's probably the worst. It has to be because it can't get much worse than what you get on a Temu listing. So I am going to, from time to time, order yarns from Temu and do a very thorough review of each of them as we go. But as I said, I'm doing things a little differently today. I'm recording from my computer so that I can use my phone to pull up the listings and tell you what it says on the listing, maybe versus what it says on the sleeve. If there is a sleeve, it's Temu. Let's get started. So the first one that I have is actually very pretty. I haven't unbagged and that all of the yarn because Temu yarn like this one comes without a sleeve, with often little to no information. So if I separate it from the packaging, I could be totally lost. So what this says on the website, I'll put it up for you, is it's 3 pieces, 150 grams, I believe, total, though that wasn't clear from the listing because the way it sounds like 3 pieces that are each 150 grams, which would have been a great deal because this is saying €5.77. It is saying that this is 100% wool, but not at the top. You have to really scroll down to find that information. And then it tells you about how many skeins you would need to do a hat, an adult scarf, a single circle scarf, a sweater, a shawl, etc. So this one actually has some pretty good information, but nothing about length, nothing about what kind of wool. When I do an in-depth review of it, I will do a burn test to see if it really truly is natural fiber. That's one of the other concerns with Temu, right? So on the bag, there, as we can see, there's nothing on the yarn itself, but on the bag it says knitting wool, and that's it. That's all the information that you get. So this is what I've got. It's nice and soft, and it does feel like wool. So if they're lying about the wool, they've done a really good job of replicating wool. It's a good 3, it's a heavy 3 or a light 4 weight. It's it might be a little splitty to work with. I will test that out. Anyway, I thought the colors were really pretty. They had quite a few. Well, they have 6 different colorways. This let me go digging in here a little bit. This is maybe a little bit darker than what I thought I was getting. The picture, and I'll put it on for you, has like almost like a wine color and a little bit of a brown color. So that is one thing I have found on Temu, is that the picture of the worked up piece isn't actually the yarn that's by the worked up piece, or the colors in the supposed examples using the yarn. um that yarn isn't available. It's not even on the sold out option list. And so I do wonder where this comes from. I have seen this picture on many listings. I spent many an hour combing through Temu yarn, trying to decide what to buy when and just see what else is available out there. And so this is something I've seen a lot. So I decided to try this one because they gave me the most amount of information. Now, I have my scale here, and I'm going to weigh it. It says 150 grams. I'm assuming that's total, though it doesn't say. And again, the way I was reading it is that they were 150 gram balls each, but it could be read either way. So that one is 49. I'll put this second one on. We're up to 101. So that must have been 51. Do quick math, Helen. Keep up. Okay. And total, I've got 148 grams. So considering that there's no sleeve on these, that's actual weight. That's within an acceptable margin of error. So it is, oh, there is brown in this one. I don't know. That is a little bit of brown. But certainly not in the shade that's being presented in the picture. Okay, so that's the first one. I cannot tell you how many meters are in here. I can't. I can guess that they're somewhere between 120 and 160 based on the weight being 50 gram balls and being a heavier 3, maybe probably a 4, probably yeah. It is roving, so it's really hard to say whether it's a 3 or a 4. But that would be my guess. I have to figure out if I have a way to find out the actual length of it. But so far, without having done the burn test, it seems like the information that they do give you on this one is accurate. And it is nice and soft. It is nice and soft. The colors are beautiful and rich, though significantly darker than the picture shows. So that's that one. I'm going to see. Okay. So you've probably, if you've looked on Temu, you've probably seen that they have a lot of cake looking yarns, lace weight, sort of like the, sorry, I don't know what's with me tonight. Sort of like the baubles that we see, the artisan baubles. They can run, a good artisan bauble can cost up to 30, even as much as 40 euros. This one is double wrapped. So I did order one. Again, it's one that I've seen on several different listings. And so it says things like hand wound cake yarn. I'm skeptical about that. Very, very skeptical, especially because it's available from multiple different vendors. I don't know if you're familiar with the way that Temu works, is that Temu is just sort of a platform for wholesalers to post on. it's it's almost an esty for bargain things, all kinds of things. I mean, Temu has everything, though I'm just focused on yarn here. Uh, so when you see it from multiple places, and yet they say things like hand dyed or hand painted, yeah, I don't believe them. I'm sorry, I just don't think it's true. But this does say it's one piece, so it's clear, 300 grams total, and they say it's lace weight and cotton. So that's what the title of the listing is. And then when you scroll way down past the reviews, past the stuff about the particular seller, uh, to the product details, it does say 100% cotton, self-striping yarn, and it is available in a few colors. It does, this one, if you go all the way down there, does say it's 1,500 meters, which sounds about right for 300 grams of superfine. They've even got that classification down, but it's way down at the bottom. So you're scrolling past all of this in order to find that information. So if you are looking yourself on Temu for yarns, make sure you scroll. And the reviews I find are also quite helpful because people who are as confused as you were by a ruler measuring a skein, this is just not how we measure yarn, have provided their experiences in the reviews. Though again, I think some of the reviews are bots. Just my thoughts. So Temu prices change regularly as well. And they have all kinds of promotions and gizmos and discounts on a single item or credit back, or which you can get significant discounts if you're willing to like go through the hassle of playing the game and deal with the pop-ups. And on one of on this order I got 50% credit back, but I had to go back every day for 7 days to claim it in about €3 increments. So, but if you're willing to do that, I was going back every day to check price adjustment too. When you've made an order, you can click on the order and there'll be a little button at the bottom that says price adjustment, and you can get some of your money back in credit form too. So I just do that. I drink my coffee in the morning and go and see, gonna give me 3 cents back? I'll take it. And then I collect my credit and off I go. But those are just things to know about the site. So it doesn't feel like cotton, but it is pretty. The colors are pretty accurate to what you see on the site. Sorry, the sun is starting to set and really shining in this window. Is that better? I think so. It's not too dark. Oh, we're darkening. Okay, if it gets too dark, I'll open the drape again. Or I could turn the light on. Anyway, I'm talking to myself. So, quite pretty. Very close to the picture that's there. You can tell the picture's had a filter on it because this is like not glowing luminescent. But we also find that on the expensive sites from time to time. It does have the standard sort of pull. The colors are really pretty. The lighter looks a little lighter and the darker looks a little darker in the picture. This is actually navy and I think it looks black on the screen. But there's only 4 colors available from this vendor, though I have seen the exact same picture, including the sample garment that is done in crochet. It's a triangular shawl. again, with several vendors and sometimes with more options, reds and pinks and that. So that's another one that seems to be what it said and what I was expecting. So we'll see how it works out when I do a more in-depth review. I bought this one twice. I actually wanted to buy 3 colors, but because I was working the get your credit here and get the discount here, and I ended up with 2 colors. Because I actually thought I could make something with it, but I'm not sure it is going to work for what I want. This has a huge title. It is a 4-pack. It says that right from the start. And it says 4 times 50 grams. So it's clear. Oh, I just weighed the cake. With Temu, I think you have to. $2.97 with the plastic on. So it's a touch light, but probably, I think, maybe 5 grams light with 300 grams. That's probably within an acceptable margin of error. So back to the 4-pack. 4 balls, 50 grams each, 70% bamboo fiber, and 30% silk. I got it in this pink color. Sorry about the bags. Again, there's no other way to identify them or keep them separate at this point. The green feels better than the pink. They feel like cotton. They really feel like cotton. And I was curious if bamboo silk, because this is a term that I've started to see to describe a fiber, is like milk cotton. When you see milk cotton, it's usually 100% acrylic. It's just a way of saying a very soft yarn. I fell for that. I fell for that. And the milk cotton that I bought is luscious, and I enjoy working with it, and it's great, but it's not cotton. There's no cotton in it. But this insists that it is a bamboo silk blend. In the description, and then in the product detail in several places. So if you were really expecting this soft, silky yarn, that's not what it will feel like. It's pretty. The colors are accurate to what I see on the screen. Both of them probably the best so far, representation wise. This again, you see from many, many vendors. And so the pricing is all over the place, and it's just kind of like spin the roulette wheel and hope you land on the best bargain. One of the things that I do, I have noticed that usually the best price on an item is the first time you see it. So if you see it multiple times in the list, the top one, the one you scrolled past, is probably your cheapest. But the other thing I do is I will just keep putting it in the cart every time I see it. And then when I go to check out, I pick the one that's cheapest on the list. So I am going to weigh these. Whoa. Okay, so the green one was 49. The pink one was also 49. I'll do one more of each pack just to... I was going to say that one's a little light, but part of it was on the table and not on the scale. Okay, 48. So they are on just a tad light overall. That one's 50 bang on, this pink one. So they are soft. They do feel like they'll be nice to work with. I'd say it's a good worsted weight. It's spun. But it is not silky soft. It doesn't have that soft shine that you would expect for silk. My son is coming in. Go back to bed. Okay, go get a Capri Sun. Sorry. Mom life, right? Yarn and kids. But it is not silky soft. So it does feel like it would be nice to work with. I do believe there's bamboo in it. I just don't think there's silk. I just don't. Though absolutely everywhere on the listing, on the bag, it says 30% silk. That's the kids' big footsteps coming back. Oh, you peeking? You saying hi to Mommy's yarn friends?
Hi.
Okay, go back to bed. Say bye.
Bye.
Okay. There's never a moment, right? It's just how it is. Plus, they're like, Mommy's always talking about yarn. All right. So this one, I was looking at the price of it and I thought, if that is what it says it is a fantastic deal. About €7.60. That's what it's listed at the moment. 90% merino wool and 10% nylon. So that's all. Oh, the picture says 3 pieces, but the title says nothing. Nothing about weight, nothing about how many pieces. The product details don't say anything. So I had no idea what the size of those 3 pieces would be. Just that there would be 3 of them. So they show good size hanks in the picture, but I was fully prepared for 25-gram balls, especially if it's merino wool. Again, in both places, both the description at the top and the product details, it says 90% merino, 10% nylon, which is also what it says on the plastic bag that it comes in. It comes as hanks, so no tags, no nothing on it. And on the SKU, it just says color number 3, 3 pieces. So it's definitely wool. Again, if they're fake, if this is fake wool, then I don't know wool. It's soft wool. It's nice wool. Yeah, that's that's next to skin kind of wool. I have very sensitive skin. So if I can handle it, pretty much anybody that can handle any kind of wool can handle it. If you can't handle wool at all, then this isn't for you. But let's find out what it weighs. How much yarn exactly we got here. 105. So they looked substantial in the picture, and I was thinking they looked like 100 gram ball hanks, but you never know. The picture you're looking at may not be what you get when it comes from Temu. So it's also, I would say that's a 3 weight. Yeah. So, yeah. So you've got no information about the meters. I mean, you almost never see it. I think the only one of everything that I bought that talks about the meters is that cake, the lace cake. But they like to give you the measurements of the hank, how long it is, how wide it is. We don't buy yarn that way. It's just not. So you really have to look at the reviews and sort of trust what other people say. Here's where I don't believe them again. It says hand dyed. And you can get hand dyed hanks that look like this. And I might have believed them if I hadn't seen this exact colorway and the exact same pictures from 3 or 4, 5, 6 different vendors at least. That's not the way hand dyed works. It's just not the. I don't think so. So call me a skeptic, call me a cynic. I don't believe the hand dyed, but I do believe that you have a nice quality wool, and that's a bargain. It's €7.60, even if you pay that for 300 grams of merino wool. You've made out like a bandit. Like a bandit. Now, I bought, remember I said there was there were several sites that had that exact same picture, several different vendors. So I went to a different one, said basically the same thing, 90% merino, 10% nylon, hand dyed. What else? What else to say? Yeah, it's almost a carbon copy. It's just a different vendor. And I bought a different color. And so comes with basically the exact same label, the exact same packaging. Okay, this one is a little more tricky to get into. I'm sorry about the rustling. I just really didn't know any other way to do it with the way Temu packages things and the way things come. This is pretty. This is not what I ordered. Like, computer screens, whatever. But this is not this. This is not this. The colors on this, the other one, the colors were really accurate. This is like sherbet, you know, yeah, fruit sherbet. Whereas I picked it because the colorway there was like Hawaii, vibrant and vivid, and this is like it sat in the sun too long. So everything else feels the same. It feels woolly. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt because I'm so disappointed in the color. I'm just so disappointed in the color. So this will be the one that's going in the washer and dryer and that I do the full review test on. The other I might actually use for something. I could make a lovely scarf. It's really nice. It's just not what I ordered. Just not what I ordered and wasn't what I was expecting. And yeah. So if you like the vivid Hawaii kind of picture and feel, don't order this. If you like, don't get me wrong, I'm being harsh on it because it was not what I was expecting and looking forward to. But summer's coming up, though I really don't want to wear merino wool in the summer. Maybe if you live in Finland and you want that summer feel, I don't know. It's got those nice sort of summer sherbet colors. There's lots that you can do with these colors, and they are pretty colors on their own. It just is very different than what I would have expected based on what it is I ordered. So, Temu, buyer beware. And okay, this is okay. This one says 100% Australian wool, 400-gram pack. So it's clear that the pack total is 400 grams, that you're getting 8 pieces in that, so 50-gram balls, and that it comes to a total of 1,463.04 meters. I almost want to unroll them all, lie them out, measure them to see if it gets to that 0.4. But wow, you got to have confidence in that as that kind of specific answer. Yeah, and in the product details, we're getting the same thing. So these for that we're looking at about right now they're asking 15.26. This is euros. Tomorrow it could be 12. One item, if you picked it as your item, maybe it goes down to 7 or 8. Temu's crazy about the prices. But you're looking at about a euro per 100 meters. Is that right? No, 140 meters. I'm not doing the math. Somebody do the math. But it seems pretty like a pretty good deal. That these come. So this came in a Ziploc, which is already an improvement, which is why you heard less rustling. On the bag itself, the only detail about the product, it tells you the company and their address and all this stuff, and that this bag is not a toy. That's important. But that it's 100% wool. So That's what it's saying here. Is that too glary? I'm trying to work with the light because usually I use my phone with a ring light, but no, I don't think that improved the situation. So here we have a sleeve, yarn sleeve. It's getting late. It's almost my bedtime. I should stop playing with yarn and say goodnight. But so they say rainbow yarn, 100% wool, one skein, 50 grams, 180 meters. Oh, my scale turned itself off. That means I was talking too much. 56 grams. So let's do another one just to see. Let's just see. This one feels a little lighter. 53. So pretty colorway. They have I think quite a few colorways. They are all this self-striping, and they all start and end at different places. So if you're very concerned about color control, I tend to be. I tend to be. You can sort of find the one that starts where yours ended and work on that. So that is a good thing about it. This even has washing instructions, though they're the washing instructions that we see on almost everything. Hand wash at 30 degrees, no dryer, no ironing, lie it flat. But this says it's 100% wool, and if it is, I will do a burn test in my extended review of it. But if it's 100% wool, I'm sure if it goes in the washing machine and dryer, it will felt. Sure. And shrink. That's what wool does. It felts and it shrinks. So I do think that's a good deal for what it is. It's sport weight. Yeah. Yeah. So also satisfactory, I would say. And yeah, Australian wool can run you 15 euros a skein. Usually though you've got 100 grams in there, but if it is what it says it is, it's a bargain. And it allows you to work with some of these materials if you can't afford some of the higher end brands. I mean, I've been there. I have 7 kids. Not all of us can afford Noro. Ain't that the truth? There are all kinds of acrylics on there. I have some more coming. And we'll look at those when they come. But I wanted to try this one because from the picture, it almost looked velvety, like a chenille. But it was saying 8 strand, that it was going to come in a 3-pack bundle, and they called it soft touch acrylic. So I kind of wanted to see, like, it's really hard to tell from the picture. It looks like a velvet chenille. Spoiler alert, it is not. And at no point does it say it is, but that was what it was looking like to me. Down in the product details, when you scroll all the way down past the reviews, blah, 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 it says it's 100% acrylic. It says the weight of one piece is 95 grams. Unusual skein size, but 95 grams and 135 meters. and it says it's 3 millimeters thick, which would put it sort of in the 5 category. And I would put it on the border of 4 and 5. And you're like, show us the yarn, please. Okay, I will do that. And the price they're asking for it now is €7.81 for 3. So this is the yarn. But I would say that is a thick 4 bordering on a thin 5. It's got that chenille kind of look, but it is not chenille. So it's not going to shed like chenille might, but it does sort of give you that fluffy shine, not shine, but sheen that chenilles can have. Not all chenilles, but they can have. Let's weigh it and see if we've got 95 here. 97. 97 on that one. Do one more just because we can. 102. So this one is a generous 95. This one was also generous. It was more. There's no sleeve on these, so absolutely no extra grams going in. Soft acrylic is a great description of this. It is got that almost sort of buttery glide to it, and not as much as like Simply Soft, but that almost where it almost feels like you've had just a teeny weeny bit of butter on your fingers, that little bit of oil feel, in a pleasant way, not I have food on my hands kind of way, which I hate. If there's anything like, I love foods that you eat with your hands, tacos, burgers, all this. But the second I'm finished, I am rushing to wash my hands because I cannot stand the feel of food on my hands. I hate it. So that if it really felt like oil, it would gross me out. But it does have that sort of like almost hand lotiony, but when it's almost all rubbed in. Yeah? Okay, you're going, that's very extensive and graphic there, Ellen. But it's nice. It's nice. I think I will get a pretty scarf out of that for the person I'm planning to make a scarf out of that for. This one I will throw in the washer and dryer. I'm really curious to see what happens. There are no washing directions on it. Again, the only thing on here is warning me about child safety, the manufacturer's information, product name, yarn, helpful. And then it does say 100% acrylic on the barcode. So, but also came in a Ziploc bag. So I think that's a pretty good deal. I thought that was a pretty good deal. You really are getting 300 grams worth of yarn for about 7-8 euros. So, do I have anything else? Was that? Okay. I cheated a little bit. Because this is something that is being talked about a bunch. And I have bought this before and worked with it before and was certain that it was 100% cashmere. And then I saw things being questioned. I didn't do a burn test or anything on it. I just took it at its word. And people were finding that the page said 100% cashmere, and then they would get the ball, and the ball would say something like 10% cashmere. My balls do say 100% cashmere. However, I went back and looked at the listing now, and it says 10% cashmere. Let me pull it up. Musical interlude. I have too many things in my cart. Da 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 da. Where's the 4-year-old to entertain here? Sorry, it's really late. I should go to bed. But I can't go to bed and go to sleep before the 4-year-old, so I'm sort of stuck anyway. I might as well chat yarn with you and help you navigate through Temu. There it is. So this is haze blue. It says 6-piece cashmere, hand-knitted cashmere, yarn, wool, cashmere, knitted yarn, ball, DIY, process, knit, sweater, scarf, wool, baby yarn. And this is the exact listing I bought from. I don't know why I keep showing you my phone. I can put this stuff on the screen. Then when I scroll down to product details, it now says 10% cashmere, 50% polyester, 30% viscose, and 10% wool. Feature anti-pilling, which cashmere is not. Cashmere is not anti-pilling, but you can make polyester and viscose anti-pilling. So I will do a burn test on this and do a more extensive review of it. The thing I can tell you is that I like it. It is thin. It is very thin. It is a one weight, and I am making a shawl out of it. It's the world's longest to make shawl because of me, not because super simple pattern and that, but when you're working with a one weight on its own and you keep putting it down to do other things, it takes a long time. But I will finish it and do a review so you can see it worked up. And this, I have a friend who has cancer, is going through chemo, losing her hair. I'm going to make her a hat with it, and I'm going to double it for that. Just because, well, at the time, I thought it was 100% cashmere. And I thought, well, that's luxurious and nice to have against your scalp skin that's not used to feeling anything other than your hair. But now I'm skeptical. I really wasn't. It said 100% cashmere when I bought it. The balls say 100% cashmere on it. It says dry clean or hand wash. All the things that I would expect. And I was very trusting, and others have not been. Perhaps to their benefit. So I will do a more thorough test and see. This is, and maybe you've seen these before. Lots of people have talked about this yarn. They come with spools of thread. So, cashmere is used so often in garment making because it drapes lovely and it's nice and thin. You can wear it as a top. And so it gives you a thread for actually sewing, say, your sleeves onto a bodice or that. Or you can add it to the one weight and bulk it up some more. So if you're wondering why it comes with spools of thread, that would be why it comes with spools of thread. They are 50-gram balls. This I haven't checked either. Oh, there goes the thread. 52 grams, but it's got the sleeve on, so that probably accounts for the extra 2. Oh, I'll slip the sleeve off. We're going to do it. Let's do it right. 50 grams, bang on the nose. So 50 grams, 310 meters. Even if it turns out not to be cashmere, it feels soft and luxurious. And if you're not a fiber expert, you probably wouldn't know it wasn't. So um, I will do a more thorough investigation of all of it. This is a little long, and I think that is sort of the nature of the beast when it comes to Temu, because there is so little information on these listings. I do think they're getting better. They've improved since I started looking at yarns there. When it used to just say yarn, wool, yarn, 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 wool, yarn, crochet, knit, crochet, make by hand, yarn. Like, helpful. But so I do think they're getting better. Some of them do have more information, and I think the best way to know what you're getting is to see others who have bought it, look at reviews, look at the reviews on it. Often you have to go down past the first couple, which I am skeptical and think, oh, Temu writes them, because they're always like, this is great, it's super soft, I love working with it, but doesn't talk like knitters and crocheters do. Like, we would be like, we would tell you the details that you need to know, the weights, the hook size that we used, the how far we got with one ball, or weigh them. And when I go further along, they can still be good reviews. They still often get 4 or 5 stars, but the ones that I think are actually written by real people contain those details. So if you're really unsure and you've got a really tight budget, you want to make sure you get something decent, really comb through what you're looking at. And I will have something in depth on all of this in later videos. Thank you for sticking with me. I enjoy spending time with you. I hope you enjoyed learning about some of these different yarns, and hanging out with me and the kid. And so why don't you go ahead, hit subscribe. We get to spend more time yakking about yarn together. Until next time.